was a kid, there was a place. A dark place.
It was spectacularly built and beautifully designed, and it felt very much like we were in a place that I knew. You know, it just felt like a place that I'd been before because it was such a clever recreation of Kubrick's set.
Here's Johnny!
I realized how much it actually affected me walking through these corridors. I got to create my own emotion to this house, you know, this own character, which I know so well from the previous film. And it was pretty cool.
You're magic. Like me.
I always called it The Shining.
I felt like I was being transported all the way back into The Shining. It was so amazing. They made it look super creepy and deteriorating, so I was quite a bit scared, but it was a lot of fun because I was exploring all the sets, and each time I'd find something new. It was awesome.
People like me who grew up on The Shining, I feel like we have the Overlook Hotel in our imagination in its entirety. And so when we rebuilt the sets and I walked into it, it's a feeling unlike I've ever had before, because it feels like you're walking into your own memory. You know where everything is. It was incredible. I grinned like a kid. We all did. We felt like kids.
He's just written a book called The Outsider. Now, if you only get through the first 15 pages, you kind of want to go, how would you film this? Because it's so horrendous. And yet that's what thrills me, and I think Mike could do that.
The Stand. The characters are very strange and interesting, which I like a lot, and I want to see who might be on the screen.
I don't know Stephen King's work enough. It's not been my favorite genre, sort of being frightened, but I hope he does go on to do more. He's done 2 adaptations of Stephen's work. There's something about his vision that works for, you know, Stephen's writing.
You know, one that I always was fascinated by was The Jaunt. It was a short story that chilled me, which I think is in development right now. But, you know, for me it was always the Dark Tower was always the one I wanted. I've come to make peace with the fact that won't happen most likely. If you're like me and you're a fan of The Dark Tower, there are quite a few Dark Tower references. Not only, you know, keep your eyes on the backgrounds, on business names and things like that. There's an advertisement outside the movie theater for a stand-up comedy performance by a comedian who, if you're really a fan of the King universe, you may recognize as kind of a cousin to the True Knot and a creature that feeds on emotion in a very similar way. There's a lot. I can never help myself.